that depends. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom.
Trivia is so much more important than wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom and
Trivia
trivia.
is so much more important than wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It depends on what Fluval thinks, because Fluval is the font of all wisdom and trivia.
So much more important than wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Trivia is so much more important than creatures, and Pumpkin is an intelligent whale-like creature on Pandora.
Control.
Lady Akron will bond with one Navi in their lifetime, and it is unknown whether the Banshee or its rider have bonded with a new partner should the previous one die. You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
You know Smarter Child?
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
You know Smarter Child? Dump Truck.
Yeah, oh, I know Smarter Child.
Dump Truck. You know Smarter Child? Banana Goo.
Oh, I know Smarter Child. I don't know why that
Stereo.
Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our grand aquarium emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Triviamaster Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval, Grand Triviamaster of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and with me as always is intern Craven the Intern.
Hello, I'm Intern Kristie. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another rousing game of Marvel trivia. That's right. We have a direct link right here to Stan.
It's me.
It's
I'm
Stan.
channeling Stan the Man Lee.
Greetings, true believers.
Greetings, true believers. I'm not sure why all your silly sound alerts don't seem to be working right now.
There's a couple of sounds that don't seem to be working right now. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but stay tuned.
Hello, Lena. Hello, Bootleg Bart. Are you
Hello.
all ready to suffer?
There they go.
tonight?
They were just delayed.
Floof, Celsior.
Celsior, true believers and newcomers alike. On this episode of Grand Trivia, we have 10 questions about Marvel's merry menagerie of masked marauders. And you can join our game of trivia by going to crowd.live and enter in room code X30 or X30FG. You know, after a few weeks of real easy to say fun ones, we're back to the mixed up.
Those mixed up files of Miss Basil
Yes.
E. Triviawiser,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of books
what
that
great
were read
storytelling. What about books?
In middle school or
Yes.
elementary
Did you
school,
read
we
all
were
the
talking about-
novelizations based on Marvel Comics?
I read no novelizations based on Marvel Comics. Are there novelizations?
Oh yeah, there's lots of Spider-Man novels.
Ooh.
Like the novelization.
Right? What a dream. Oh my god. And then to like get my
Oh.
grubby little hands on something made by Michelangelo, my god. My god.
There were many comic novelizations.
There were many comic novelizations.
There's a whole Wikipedia page in my mind palace that's lists of novels based on comics, but we'll wait for that because first we gotta let people join our game of Titanic in terms of
Titanic.
scale, not topic, trivia, like Spider-Man by the Ramones, who has joined our game of trivia, and you should join them by going to crowd.live and entering the code X30FG.
Amazing. Stan,
What?
did Marvel have any relationship with Mist? I mean, that kind of seems like...
No, that was a Dark Horse comic that the Dark Horse started to publish a comic and then decided that they weren't gonna bother because, then the creators of Mist decided to not bother because they thought it just wasn't living up to their potential.
I see. That's interesting because Dark Horse kind of was the place that you went for artists who did live up to their potential.
Yeah, it was also the home of Star Wars before the Disney buyout took back a galaxy far, far away to where it truly belongs. And you can, X-Men 3 or Forrest Gump. Go to crowd.live and enter X-Men 3 or Forrest Gump. Yeah, Dark
Home
Horse
of
was
the
also the home of the
Alien.
Alien comics until Marvel took those. They were the home of the Predator comics until Marvel took those. Marvel really did a series of buyouts specifically targeted to just destroying the catalog and brands associated with Dark Horse comics. But they still have Hellboy. And they should feel proud of that, as should all of our great contestants, including The Wizard, Marvel Comics, Expala Celsiorala, Bootleg Barton, Clint, that's Hawkeye, Fantastic Floor, Missy Tirio, CBC still doesn't know Marvel, Batmite, and Deadpool. Yeah, they got bought out
Deadpool.
just like Marvel. And did you know Deadpool is the only Marvel film coming to theaters this year?
Oh my god.
Deadpool
really?
3 is the only thing on the slate, on Marvel's sensational slate of cinema.
Fluval.
Yes.
Which of the Marvel 70s shows do you want to see a revival of?
What do you mean by Marvel 70s shows?
You know, like those 70s cartoons, like the unglamorous Hulk and Spider-Man, but like
those were the
specifically the cartoon
1960s.
parts.
Okay.
Or like the Thing Rings, do your
That's
thing.
what I wanna
the
see.
The car guy. The kid who
Turbo
turns
Teen
into the
was
car.
not a Marvel character. It was just designed by Jack Kirby.
What? How
The King Kirby.
is Japanese Spider-Man like different from Spider-Man,
Yes.
or is he just a Spider-Man?
No,
Like,
he's a different guy. But what do you mean by that question? I suppose.
like, could you see him in that big room in the Multiverse movie with all the different
Oh, yeah.
Spideys?
You can
And
definitely.
you'd be like, oh yeah, he has the same story as Spider-Man.
He has a giant
essentially.
robot and a motorcycle.
They gave him a giant robot and stuff. Sweet. Does he lose someone and have to take responsibility?
Oh, you're wondering about his
With his
canon
powers?
events.
Yeah, like, does he have that
He's
Spider-Man
in the Spider-Verse comics.
feel, you know?
Well, let's see for yourself if you think he has the Spider-Man feel.
Oh, he's a grizzled cop. No, Spidey is not a cop, specifically. Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Never mind, he's a Spider-Man. If he's dressed exactly the same, then he's just shitty cop Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's cop Spider-Man with a giant robot and a motorcycle. And look at his acrobatics,
wow.
his very slow acrobatics.
I love his twinkle toes as he jumps in that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's right. He's an emissary from hell.
Amazing.
Spider-Man.
Oh, he wants revenge for
Yeah.
a family member who
then-
was killed unjustly. That's pretty
Here's
Spider-Man.
him. What did you look at him swinging around? Look at that effect as he swings around the giant robot.
Amazing.
This is great. It's definitely not a toy hitting. It's definitely not a toy.
Leah Pleurodon.
Look at him go.
Spidey. The sensual Spider-Man. No, I've never heard of this. Right?
Well, don't you worry. There's no questions about Japanese Spider-Man in this episode of Grand
Oh,
Trivia.
good. I spoiled
So we didn't
nothing.
spoil anything, but there probably will be in future ones because
Ah.
that's a really good idea. But now let's look at Sensual Spider-Man, and then we can get our trivia
Okay.
underway. And you can still join by going to crowd.live and entering the code X3OFG or following the link that's pinned in our Twitch chat. Seen here is the Sensual Spider-Man.
Oh, I see. So just like thirst traps,
Yes,
Spidey.
it's Spidey thirst traps. But yeah, Marvel said, sure, just do whatever you want with the concept, which is, of course, as with all decisions Marvel has ever made, the smart one.
Uh-huh, totally.
And yeah, and hello to... Oh, he
does
also
funny
does funny videos. He's also a
videos.
funny a silly funny person.
We love silly, funny things.
But our players are Spider-Man by the Ramones, The Wizard, Marvel Comics, Expala Celsiorala,
Cirola!
Bootleg Barton Clint, Fantastic Floor, Missy Stereo. CBC still doesn't know about Marvel. Batmite, who's from the Distinguished Competition.
Ooh. Precisely.
And of course we have Deadpool.
The-
Deadpool 3
Yeah.
makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1. Which I hope isn't true. And Kapow Potatoes.
Potatoes.
But you know, we've given you time to join, but there's still slots left, so you can join our game even once it's underway. But why don't we get to question number 1? Yeah, let Griffin Newman play Batmite and let you answer question 1. On Spider-Man and his amazing friends. His amazing friends were
Sorry,
Iceman. Siri, don't interrupt me.
I'm so
His
sorry,
amazing
Fluval.
friends were Iceman and Firelord, Firestar, Pyro, or Sunfire. They were Iceman, Firelord, Firestar, Pyro, or Sunfire. Which of these rounded out the sensational Titanic trio on Spider-Man and his amazing friends, which was a Marvel Comics presentation narrated by me, Stan the Man Lee.
Ooh. I like how it's like one of these things is not like the others.
Yeah,
There's
it
like
sure
fire,
is.
ice, and Spider-Man.
Fire, Ice, and Spider-Man, and they lived in an apartment owned by Aunt May.
Excelsior!
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, but let's see what you picked. 1 of you said Firelord, 5 of you said Firestarter, Firestar. 4 of you said Pyro, 1 of you said Sunfire. The correct answer is, in fact, Firestar.
No, fire starter.
And we
would have
can
been
learn more
Pyro.
about this Titanic TV show by journeying to the trailer and the intro. Look at him crawl.
I like his motion blur.
He's a
moving
thing
so
from the
fast.
void.
Twisted fire starter.
He's a twist.
A song of fire, ice, and
Firestar. Now, Firestar was created for the show as a replacement for the Human Torch due to licensing issues.
I predict I will win.
Yeah.
Trivia never gets harder.
And
Ooh.
despite her name, she doesn't actually have fire powers. She actually manipulates microwave radiation
Oh, okay.
to create fire. So it's not directly I shoot fire, it's I use
Wait.
the power of microwaves.
Okay, so let's workshop a better name
And
for
he
her.
is Doom.
Spider-Man and his amazing
So we have Firestar, who messes with electromagnetic waves.
Microwaves.
Microwaves. Let's workshop a better name for her. Micro Wonderful.
Micro Woman.
Micro
Wave Woman.
The microwavester.
The lady what does microwaves.
The don't stand in front of me. There's an old wives' tale that'll make you infertile.
Yes, the don't stand in front of me. Oh, and also, while we're thinking of these, let's look at the this is
The radiant microwaver. Love that.
This is the new spiritual successor, Spidey and his amazing friends, which trades the iconic trio of Spider, Ice, and Fire for 3 spiders.
I think Madam Microblaster.
And the theme song to this show is sung by Patrick Stump of Fallout Boy.
I understand this. At first, I thought you wanted us to destroy Lena's planet, but now I see it's Nuclea. Like
Nuclea as her name.
nuclear.
But yeah, this is Spidey and his amazing friends with Spider-Man, Spider-Man, and Ghost Spider.
Please don't put metal in me, girl.
I mean, isn't that most people? I think very few want metal. I mean, just like randomly
No
put
stab,
in them.
Please.
No stab, lady. Well, let's use our own microwave powers and fly to the leaderboard, where Batmite is in first. Distinguished competition indeed. The Wizard, Marvel Comics in second. Expala Celsiorala in third. Deadpool in fourth. Fantastic Floor, providing a floor to the leaderboard in fifth. Incelsior in sixth, which is a great name. Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in 7th. Kapow Tatoes in 8th. Spider-Man by the Ramones in 9th. CBC still doesn't know Marvel in 10th. Bootleg Bot and Clint in 11th. And Missy Stereo bringing up the rear in 12th place. As we go on to question number 2.
We love a Stabiversary.
We do.
We love a Stabiversary. Now that it's part of trivia, it's delicious
Absolutely.
suffering.
It became name brand suffering.
Yes. Transform your suffering into suffering that we can consume.
Which of
Come
these Marvel
on.
characters debuted first in the comics? Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Human Torch, or Wolverine? Wolverine's the best at what he does, but did he debut first?
Isn't the guy from The Bear going to be him?
He's in the running. That's right. Lip from Shameless is in the running to be James Howlett, Logan, Wolverine.
Right? That's like a whole different kind of Wolverine. That is like casting Heath Ledger to be the Joker.
And Pedro Pascal's going to be Mr. Fantastic, which is...
Oh, just make him daddy?
Yeah,
is
we're
that
just-
what we're doing? I thought he was an asshole.
It sounds like the Fantastic Four movie may ask the daring question, what if Reed Richards was likable?
What if Reed Richards was daddy?
Well, and Hugh Jackman proved that being short isn't a requirement for Wolverine.
Is he short?
Wolverine?
No, the guy.
He's 5'7".
Oh, he's like not very tall. Certainly.
Reed
wrote
can be
Great
likable.
Reed.
People just sort of coasted on the idea of him being an asshole for a while.
What if Reed Richards was fuckable? Yes, that is the question that we are asking.
Yeah, sometimes his real superpower is family.
But
But let's see what everyone picked. 5 of you said Iron Man, 1 of you said Spider-Man, 8 of you said the Human Torch, and none of you said Wolverine. You got it right. The correct answer is the Human Torch. And it's actually not a tricky question because both Human Torch versions debuted first. Both the original Android, who debuted in Marvel Comics #1 in October 1939, from Timely Comics, but Johnny Storm debuted in Fantastic Four #1 in 1961, followed by Iron Man in Tales of Suspense 39 in 1963, the character where I said, all my readers are young anti-war hippies, I'm gonna make them like the worst guy, a military contractor who's a rich man. That's a true thing, look it up. And then Spider-Man debuted in Amazing Fantasy #15 in 1960. Oh, no, Spider-Man was second in 1962. Spider-Man was before Iron Man. But then Wolverine was last. He debuted in the final panel of Incredible Hulk 180.
And now can we talk about Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, now we can talk about
Wolverine?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Now can we talk about Daniel Radcliffe as
Yes.
Wolverine?
It would be Knives Akimbo.
That would be like so incredible. Yes, Dan Rad.
Daniel Radcliffe would be an amazing...
Yes, for this Apollo Koala. I want a teeny tiny Wolverine.
Daniel Radcliffe would be great. Be so good.
Yeah.
As Wolverine. I mean, as anything he wants to be. Let
Knives
Daniel
out,
Radcliffe.
dicks out.
Daniel Radcliffe for every ooh. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. The human. If you ever play the Human Torch, you will later play a role in the MCU.
Precisely.
But yeah, let Dan
Let
Rad do what Dan
do
Rad wants. Swish and snick.
Sneak.
Snicked.
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 Even singing. Yeah.
Yeah, let him sing it. Let him
Dan
sing.
Rad.
You know, look, there's
Let
a
him
long
sing, let him
history.
dance.
There's a long history of Wolverine
That's
singing
true.
and dancing.
That is very true.
I wonder if that'll happen in Deadpool 3. It probably will, right?
Weird Wolverine. Love this. He's small. He's small.
Is Dan Rad small?
He's small but wide. Yeah. He's like, I guess he's probably 5'7".
He's 5'5".
5'5".
So he's actually perfect for Wolverine then.
Yeah.
In the
Like,
2000s, Bob Hoskins was in the running to play Wolverine.
He's so
Mario
small.
from the Mario movie, the original one, not Chris Pratt.
oh my.
I mean, he's a short little guy.
That little guy. Little guy.
Little guy. Big leaderboard, where Batmite is in
many?
first. The Wizard, Marvel Comics in second. Expala Celsiorala in third. Deadpool in fourth. Fantastic. Are you saying he should play Smee in the Peter Pan movie?
Smee.
Oh, in Hook.
Yeah.
Deadpool in fourth. Fantastic Four in fifth. Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in sixth. Spider-Man by the Ramones in seventh. Bootleg Bart and Clint in eighth. Missy Stereo in ninth. Excelsior in 10th. CBC still doesn't know Marvel. And Kapow Tatoes punching their way to 12th place as we make our way to question number 3.
Smee fucks for sure.
Which of these Marvel villains was the final boss of the arcade game Marvel Superheroes? Now, this is the fighting game from the 1990s. Was it Doctor Doom, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Thanos? That's right, we cannot let Chris Pratt play Smee. Or Smee Skywalker, either. But is the answer Doctor Doom, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Thanos? This was in the 1990s.
Which famous actor?
Back in the
Drag
90s, I was in a very famous video game.
Oh. 101 Dalmatians.
Glenn Close?
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close was...
Glenn.
Did Glenn Close do drag?
Yes. Glenn. Did she do a drag Smee?
I like
She'd
the
probably
sound
do a
of
fucking
that.
great
I mean,
drag
she'd,
Smee.
I'm sure, do great.
I gasped so hard.
Yes, you really
Liz,
did.
At your suffering.
At your costly misclick. Well, one of you said Doom, 4 said the Juggernaut, 5 said Magneto, 2 said Thanos. The correct answer is Thanos! Much like the MCU's initial storyline, the game was loosely based on the Infinity Gauntlet from the comics. Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems was a platformer released around the same time that was also based on the Infinity Gauntlet. All of these villains were in the game, and Magneto was the boss of Capcom's first Marvel game, X-Men Children of the Atom.
Okay.
But the boss of this game was Thanos. Doom was some mini-boss that you fought partway through the game.
I love watching Hook and just being like, okay, one of the pirates is hot as fuck, though.
Rufio?
It was Glenn Close. It was Glenn Close. Like, of course one of the pirates was hot. They were Glenn Close. Like, but being like,
I don't think it's out of your reach. But let's go to the leaderboard and see.
You never know.
Batmite in first, the Wizard, Marvel Comics in second, Expala Celsiorala in third, Deadpool in fourth, Spider-Man, George kisses Carrie Fisher on a bridge in Hook.
George Close?
George Lucas, creator of Star Wars.
Ew.
Yeah, Spider-Man by the Ramones in fifth, Fantastic Floor in sixth. That's true, the betting cues do tend to cull the field.
Yes.
They tend to be a big comic-style reboot. It's sort of a little Heroes Reborn situation, where if you get it wrong, your points are shunted off into a pocket universe created by Franklin Richards and illustrated by the stars of Image Comics of the day, like Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like that.
God, Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld indeed. Well, why don't we... Question 4. The X-Men have crossed over with the crew from which of these Star Trek TV shows? Star Trek, The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. And... yeah.
There. We have to have this song for this question.
Wizworld had this novel. What if I told you it wasn't just a novel? Intern Forrest also had that novel as a kid.
Was it a video game?
No, there was all will be revealed.
This is a night for books that were video games. Mist,
No, it was not a
read-
video game. It was not a video. I mean, this.
I did not know it was a video game. Shadows of the Empire.
Yes.
I read. I did not know it was a video game until college.
This one was invented by a writer.
Did you
I
know?
saw someone playing it, and I was like, Dash Rendar.
Did you know it was
Why did they steal that name from that book about Star Wars for this video game?
Did you know it was an album?
Album?
Did you know it was an album? Shadows of the Empire.
Like a songs?
Yeah.
Like singing? Who? Guys, my mom is like really sad. I might have to watch Star Trek movies with her this week to cheer her up. I will report to Red Charts. You had better report to Red Charts. And you should all be really fucking excited about season 2 coming up in like 2 episodes for y'all, or 3 episodes for y'all, with a mock time. That's right. It's the one where Spock fucks.
You should also be third-dimensional beings and they're fucking.
I did read part of a Halo book, but I knew
Was
that
it
was
written
a
by
video
Karen
game.
Travis?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I
well,
found
let's
it
journey into.
somewhere.
This is the soundtrack to Shadows of the Empire, an original orchestral soundtrack or score composed for a book. Why not? Robert Townsend.
Why not?
It's a musical score by Emmy Award-winning composer Joel McNeely, which was inspired by the novel Shadows of the Empire.
Honestly, more things should be made for that reason.
And it's
Why
in his
not?
own art style rather than trying to ape John Williams. And it's part of the whole Shadows of the Empire multimedia initiative, which was a comic, a book, the album, and video games and toys. It was everything but a movie, was sort of the way they described it at Lucasfilm, because they were in part testing their merchandising muscle ahead of the prequels.
Fluval, after we see who got this question right and wrong, can I pitch my idea to our chat?
We have a couple I don't know what you're talking
for
about.
a project. Can I pitch my idea to both you and the chat?
We have a couple of things we have to see first before we do that. But yes,
I have
sure.
such an idea!
So 2 of you said Star Trek, 7 said Next Gen, not 1 said Deep Space Nine, 1 said Voyager. I liked Dash Rendar's robot friend.
Right? Isn't that cool?
The correct answer is Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation.
Wow.
And now, one of them is the novel, but we'll get to the novel. First, here's Star Trek X-Men, the crossover between the X-Men and the Kirk-era Enterprise, because the insane reality-altering mutant called Proteus has found a kindred spirit in a nearby universe, Gary Mitchell.
Okay, we need to talk about this. Missy. So, Gary Mitchell is from the second pilot, which was shot for Star Trek. This is the one that ended up going on as episode 3 of the original series, Where No Man Has Gone Before. And it features, look, it's Gary Mitchell. It features individuals who get like hit by a wave of radiation and they get crazy god psychic powers or whatever. That makes them put on fucking contacts that have literal tinfoil in them. These poor people could not see. All this to be said, we're reaching out to this sort of psychic character who can like make things appear, but like has no discernible like dimensional splitting powers. No. Or from the episode that is currently out of Red Shards, The Alternative Factor, the extremely terrible episode about a man who is literally battling a different version of himself from an antimatter universe, 2 parallel universes, same place, same time. And these 2 men are like the connection between it. We're not gonna fuck with that one. Yes, the handshake episode.
Well, there's some great quotes in this comic that I need to go through. Where... Oh, I don't like that one.
Gary Mitchell
there,
was
now
played,
I can be seen.
By the guy in 2001,
Yeah, the main astronaut in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Memorable quotes. Kirk after the... did he just punch my ship? Kirk after the Enterprise was indeed punched by the Shi'ar Gladiator. Dr. McCoy? Yes. Bones and Beast, Hank McCoy, simultaneously respond to Nurse Chapel, then do a double take at each other because they're both named Dr. McCoy.
Ah!
And then I have to really get into character for this next one.
Ah!
Mutant, as in the old Earth term, Homo sapiens superior.
Oh.
Spock. And then Gary, Proteus, a friend of yours, Kirk and Cyclops respond simultaneously to the combined threat. So that was 1996's Star Trek X-Men. What does God need with a spaceship? Or what does God need with a... No, let me try it one more time. What does God need with a starship? The story itself is called Star Trek's Men.
Star Trek's.
And that was followed by a TNG crossover in Second Contact. Star Trek, which is a crossover that is a sequel to First Contact.
Oh.
It's a sequel to the feature film First Contact, where on their way back to the 24th century, the Enterprise is shunted into the Marvel Universe by Kang the Conqueror.
Sure.
And then they team up with the X-Men to foil Kang's plan to remake the timelines of all the known universes. That's right. They foil the plot line in Loki.
Wow. Kang!
And there were no memorable
Second
quotes,
Contact.
apparently, from this comic, because no one broke them out. But the Patrick Stewart praised the artist, saying, he can draw me anytime.
Patrick Stewart being like, wow, I'm a hottie in this.
I'm a hottie. Look at me. I'm hotter than... I'm almost as hot as Nightcrawler.
Oh, in this, I'm daddy.
And they actually, in this, reference the first one. So the X-Men are like, oh, the Federation, we know what your deal is. Because we've met you before.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And they solve paradoxes related to the Battle of Wolf 359 and Days of Future Past in this comic. And this was a Marvel Paramount comic, but after that they went from the funny pages to novels. With the novel.
Gonna talk about Planet X.
Exactly. Star Trek Planet X. Which is, to quote the official blurb, on the planet Zaldia. Ordinary men and women are Get out of here, Peloton.
Zaldia.
Ordinary men and women are mutating into bizarre creatures with extraordinary powers.
Ooh.
But is this a momentous evolutionary leap?
Charlie X Men.
Oh, Charlie X meeting Charles Xavier.
Charlie X would absolutely be an X-Man.
But is this
right?
a momentous evolutionary leap or an unparalleled catastrophe? The very fabric of Zaldian society is threatened as fear and prejudice divide the transformed from their own kin. Dispatched to cope with the growing crisis, Captain Picard and the crew of the Enterprise receive some unexpected visitors from an alternate reality in the form of the mutant heroes known as the Uncanny X-Men. Storm, leader of the X-Men, offers their help in resolving a situation that is agonizingly similar to the human-mutant conflict at their own space and time. But when hostile aliens appear around Zaldia's orbit to try and abduct the transformed for use as a superpowered force in an attack on the Federation, even the combined forces of the crew of Starfleet and the X-Men may be unable to prevent an inferno of death and destruction. Starfleet's finest crew and Earth's greatest mutant heroes.
This one was invented by a writer.
Will need all their powers and abilities to save the Zaldian people and stop a deadly threat to the Federation. And spoiler alert, you'll never guess who's behind this one.
Huh.
It's Q.
It's Q.
Q brought the X-Men into the Star Trek universe. Why, you might ask?
Q Gnito.
The book doesn't say
Oh.
why Q cared about the mutants on that planet.
I mean, why does he do anything?
Exactly.
Honestly?
But his quote is, "It's not where you fight, it's who." That's Wolverine on battlefields.
Why? No. Q. He would.
And so this one
He
is,
fucking
by the
would.
way, for all you Star Trek heads, or Trekkies as I guess you're
Q?
called, the novel is set
Why?
after First Contact and after the Deep Space Nine episodes You Are Cordially Invited, because Worf and Jadzia Dax are recently married. So you fit that in, you have to read this whole novel. Next time Deep Space 69 rewatches Deep Space Nine, you have to fit in this Planet X crossover comic so that it all fits. Yeah, the Beyonder would have also kind of been a better pick than Kang.
Right?
What with War World and such.
Rep.
Oh, and Banshee's in it.
Yes.
This might be where Intern Forrest learned who Banshee was.
Oh, I learned who Banshee was from the first X-Men's.
Wolverine and Worf fight on the holodeck in this. And they really highlight the fact that Professor X and Jean-Luc Picard look similar because Crusher makes a holographic duplicate of Picard, or of Xavier. So she's investigating the problem. She's like, wait, I need to draw on the knowledge of Earth's greatest genetic researchers. I know, Charles Xavier.
Wow. And they're like, my God, Picard.
You
is this
look
a
like
distant
Jean-Luc.
relative of yours? No, my most distant relative was Sherlock Holmes. That means I'm also related to Mr. Spock.
And Mystique. Because Mystique is Sherlock Holmes. Canonically now. In Marvel canon, Mystique is Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes was real, and Mystique shapeshifted into him to do with mystery solving.
Excelsior!
I am shocked. I am made speechless.
Hey, Jonathan Hickman has introduced the character of Irene Adler into the Marvel universe. Irene Adler is just an X-Men character now. It is the ex-girlfriend of Mystique, who is Sherlock Holmes. He's a genius. The man's a genius. Wrong on all counts. Why? Why are we going to be out in this alpha weather all the time? The game's afoot, Irene. Ah, game. Surely you can guess why. Haven't you read the papers? So
yeah,
that's
does she
right.
look like RDJ?
No, I guess she just looks like herself. But
Sherlock? Okay.
but that means Spock and Nightcrawler are related because Mystique is also Nightcrawler's father.
That is true. It's the ears. Somehow, he got his ears from his long human genetics, not from his half Vulcan side. You wouldn't
Jean
have
Grey
guessed.
is also in Trek, and Jean Grey, Famke Janssen plays an alien, and that alien, despite not being a Trill, is the basis for Dax's makeup on Deep Space Nine, because they were gonna give Terry Farrell the like full-on forehead appliance, but they thought it made her not look hot. And so they got rid of it and gave her makeup based on an entirely different alien played by Famke Janssen because they wanted Famke Janssen to play Dax.
Oh.
But she was too busy, probably with X-Men, given the timing. Or GoldenEye. But you know what you shouldn't be too busy with? Our leaderboard, where Batmite is in first, The Wizard, Marvel Comics in second, Expala Celsoriala in third.
Excelsior!
Yeah.
Thor? Yeah, we spotted
Thor's
him.
Kirk's papa.
His papa.
Deadpool in
Dax,
fourth. Deadpool
man.
3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in
Dax.
fifth. Fantastic Flaw in sixth. Bootleg Barton, Clint in seventh. Missy Stereo in eighth. Spider-Man by the Ramones in ninth. Kapotatoes in 10th. And CBC still doesn't know Marvel in 11th. Ahead of Incelsior
Incelsior!
in 12th. As we move on to question 5. In the early 90s, James Cameron developed plans for a Spider-Man movie. Who did he want to play Dr. Octopus? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rick Moranis, Tom Arnold, or Wayne Knight? Was it Arnold, Rick Moranis, Tom Arnold, or Wayne Knight, who was supposed to play Otto Octavius and the man who in the Sam Raimi versions would go on to have the power of the sun in the palm of his hand?
Well, in the palm of one of his many tentacles.
I mean, when you got your mind all wrapped up in your tentacle apparatus, I feel like that if it's your fleshy hand or your metal hand is sort of not at the most relevant point there.
You picked who you was desperate. Mr.
Honey, I
Stupid.
shrunk the spider. Well, let's see what you picked. Oh, it's very evenly divided. 3 of you said Arnold. 3 of you said Rick Moranis. 3 of you said Tom Arnold. And 1 of you said Wayne Knight Newman. Spider-Man.
Think of
Well, the correct
ice
answer
level
is
pond.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's the ice level ponds!
He wanted a young Leonardo DiCaprio to play Peter Parker, and this was all before Titanic. As detailed in MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios by Dave Gonzalez, Gavin Edwards, and Joanna Robinson, they really dig into the casting and how the Cameron movie died over litigation.
Ooh, we take it back. Suffering.
No, yeah, me saying that was just me dreaming of the world where it was Rick Moranis as Doc Ock.
Remember when Pat Stew was supposed to be Mr.
That would be a much
Freeze?
better Mr. Freeze.
Suffering.
But you know, you can't expect any better of the distinguished competition. Of course, they're gonna make poor choices, unlike Marvel, who has only cast. Well, never mind. Marvel made one bad decision.
One.
Even Stan the Man thinks they shouldn't have cast one of the people.
But we're gonna let you guess which.
But Expala Celsiorala in first, The Wizard Marvel Comics in second, Batmite in third, Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1, and Dead Fool in fifth. But now it's time for our big ticket reunification game. That's right, it's...
That's right. It's the wacky ticket reunification game.
And you can get tickets
Everyone
if you
find
slide into
your
our
tickets.
DMs and ask for them. We'll send you tickets so you can reunite them with the tickets we have.
That's
What do you win?
right.
You get the satisfaction of reuniting tickets.
Yes, I've pulled 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5
Satisfaction not
tickets
guaranteed.
out of this wonderful wheel. Okay. Our first ticket is 395597.
395597.
Yes.
7.
Never mind. This is the wrong type.
Okay, well, you know, that was you win a if you had that one, you get a Marvel no prize.
You get the Marvel no prize. Okay, the first one is 396725. 396725.
396725.
Our next ticket. That's right. It's 396822. 396822.
396822.
Yes, 396822. Then our next one is 396555.
Wait. 2, what was number 2? 396822?
Yes, 396822.
I got a little behind because Instagram not being happy right now.
Oh. Blog wins 896822. 396822.
Blog Thovin.
Blog Dovin. Blog.
It's still working. Good.
Okay. Our next ticket. Did someone say 555?
No.
396555. 396555.
Was that ticket 3? Oh, you did say 555. That was ticket 3?
396555.
Okay.
396555.
I think that's Void.
Void.
I mean, Void's asking about it. Why else would
that
Void
one?
ask about it if Void wasn't on the sheet? But confirm it for us, Void, as we get the fourth one.
Our next one is 396902.
396902 and Void
902.
confirming the Void had 555. Not a Void. Okay.
Confirmed.
902 is also Void.
902 is also Void?
That's what Void says. And yes, again, this is not a raffle. This is just a ticket reunification game.
Yay! 2 winnings! And 1 winning for Blog!
Wait, shoot. Blog was 725, right?
Yes.
I accidentally removed it from the ticker.
Did anyone else win? Did you intentionally give me 9 consecutive numbers? I rolled them off of the fucking roll. So they're all gonna be consecutive.
So that's the end of our ticket reunification game.
Congratulations!
Oh, 822
to our 2
was the blog.
winners.
Yeah. 822 was Blog. I'll update that.
Yay! Congratulations! And now back to our regularly scheduled
Game of trivia as we move on to question number 6.
Big winners tonight!
True or false, a U.S. federal court ruled that the X-Men aren't human. Is that true or is that false? Did the U.S. government declare the X-Men human or not human? Do you know the answer to this one, intern case law?
I do. I do know the answer to this one. I just hope that it's the same in the universe that we are broadcasting to right now.
Argyle won the first night and will never win again, but I will always unfurl them anyway because it's exciting.
Yes! Very,
yes,
very
in this
exciting.
reality, not in the Marvel
this-
comics. Outside of the Marvel comics. Oh, they ruled their dancer. Always choose true, says Blogtoven.
Yes, you and Missy, you won the first one. Thank you so much, Intern Kristie. Thank you so much.
You know, they're not always true. But they are in this case. Everyone got it right. As noted on Mental Floss, they did it because quote-unquote dolls must be human, while quote toys can be anything. And toys and dolls are taxed at different rates. So
Why?
Marvel's lawyers tried to get their costumed characters classified as toys. And to quote Mental Floss, in 2003, Singer and Sing convinced Judge Judith Barzilay that the Marvel characters aren't quite human enough to deserve the taxation as of a doll, leading the court to declare, quote, they are more than or different than humans. These fabulous characters use their extraordinary and unnatural physical and psychic powers on their side of either good or evil. The figures' shapes and features, as well as their costumes and accessories, are designed to communicate such powers. But that's not all. Turns out the ruling wasn't even limited to the X-Men, as clarified in an official court document, quote, the figure of Kingpin resembles a man in a suit carrying a staff. Nothing in the storyline indicates that Kingpin possesses superhuman powers, yet Kingpin is known to have exceedingly great strength. However, quote, naturally, end quote, achieved. And the figure itself has a large and stout body with a disproportionately small head and disproportionately large hands. As it is, the figure is designed to communicate the legendary and freakish nature of the character. So even though dolls can be caricatures of human beings, the court is of the opinion that the freakishness of the figure's appearance, coupled with the fabled Spider-Man storyline to which it belongs, does not warrant a finding that the figure represents a human being. I would be very curious if the brats are human.
I'm extremely curious as to why dolls are taxed at a different rate than toys. Yeah, precisely.
I'm also curious about that.
Right?
It raises so many questions. It's human freak erasure, exactly. But now let's go to our leaderboard, where Expala Celsiorala is in first, The Wizard, Marvel Comics is in second, Batmite in third, Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in fourth, Deadfool in fourth, Bootleg Barton Clint in sixth. In seventh, Fantastic Floor in eighth, Spider-Man by the Ramones, and in ninth, Missy Stereo in 10th. Kapow Potatoes in 11th, Incelsior, and in 12th, CBC still doesn't know Marvel. And you know, I want to take a walk down memory lane before we get to question number 7.
Okay.
And look back on the time that I got to meet 2 young comic book professionals on a special and really tell them what I thought about all of their illustrations and their comic creation. On Universal Studios, they are humans, that's true.
Yeah.
We'll try to explain our thinking on how we're coming across
This is
and
Todd
why
McFarlane
we're doing
and
overkill
Rob
the
You
way it
can
is.
think and draw at the same time?
Yeah, and especially if it's going to be overkill, his equipment's got to be overkill as well.
Oh, heck yeah.
Always
Okay,
remember,
here.
always
Alrighty.
remember, he's tough, but he's not
Okay,
violent.
along those lines, he's got the biggest shoulder pads ever existed. It's like
I
this-
figured he would.
this chest-
Okay, I'm going to give him some big knee pads here, because a guy like him that's got some armor and got some guns and
Has to
stuff
have
like
knee
that
pads.
is going to.
Boy, he looks grim, doesn't he?
Kids, you know, I mean, the kids like the dark, moody stuff. I mean,
They seem
you know,
to.
I mean, you're.
But I have a question I've been wanting to ask you guys.
So the question.
How long does it take these people to get dressed? These kind of characters.
Who says
that you
they
draw?
undress?
I mean, there's something they have to get out quickly to save the world, but it takes them an hour and a half to get into all of this stuff
That's
if they
right.
work fast.
That's right. Getting into the costume is like going to the bathroom in comic books. You never show it, but you assume that Superman and Batman and Spider-Man actually do go and urinate every now and then,
You're
right?
right, but you never do show it, do you?
No.
You never show it.
But you do show, very often you show
Unlike
people getting
Stan's
dressed,
comics
especially
dedicated
women.
to
I seem
Spider-Man
to recall that
pissing.
now.
Yeah, no. Okay,
You draw
listen.
hands? Are you into hands?
Oh,
really?
yeah, I'm the best.
You do hands?
But why don't we give
I
them
love you. Oh, wait,
here,
you do hands?
wires
You do
coming
hands?
out
Really,
here,
you?
coming
Oh,
down. Up.
they
the
love
kids,
that
the kids
stuff.
love wiring.
The wires
yeah,
that he'll
they do.
trip
Why
over
don't
when
we
he's
invite-
running.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, you draw good wires.
Oh.
Does he have a double identity? Is he really a meek
Who,
accountant in real life?
who else could he be
Double
besides Overkill?
Well, I mean, when he takes off all these clothes, is he a
I
97
do
pound
you see
weakling?
him taking rough fist? Okay.
Okay.
With his thumb, he would have 3 different cannons
Different,
that are
okay.
facing you for the large kapui. So right here, they could be like missile launchers or whatever. but he's gonna have those right over here.
Imagine
You make those value judgments. Why only 3? He's got 4 knuckles.
'Cause-
the reader's
And then
crazy.
this-
Why does he have more on that side than that side?
No.
For the sake of
Imagine
our
being a
unseen
comic book
viewers,
illustrator
is this
and
really
writer,
the
and
type
then
of thought process
You're like, oh, I get to
you
do
guys
the
go through?
VHS with
Except
Stan Lee,
for
and
we
he
have
just
more
tears
than
you
20
apart.
This is probably longer than you usually
We do.
take. Well, I think I've got to say seriously, which isn't easy for me to do, but I think it's very impressive that in a matter of 20 minutes, you guys could come up with something like this. I mean, bad as it is, it's still impressive that you were able to do it this quickly.
Yeah, that's a cool logo. That
Rob,
is really
didn't you
cool.
promise that you would draw and we would do the talking? And when
sorry,
you
I'm
grow
sorry.
up a little more, you know, we'll
Okay.
let you in there with the grown-ups.
Well, when you were creating characters, Stan, what was the process back then? I mean, because Rob and I right now, we do our own writing and our own drawing. We don't collaborate with anybody anymore. So
That's the problem, and I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. Boy, he is one grim-looking guy. There's no way this man can move. He's got to have a power to defy gravity, I would say, just looking at
He's
him.
a tank. I mean, what are you thinking?
Now, the funniest thing would be if you say that these are jets and he's the fastest man alive. That and the way you have him. We've got to justify all of this paraphernalia somehow.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know that you're really doing my character right. That's all right, I guess, for a bunch
Stan.
of beginners.
Overkill
I
him.
just want you to, we have a minute and
Oh,
a half
with the
or so.
foot.
I want to tighten those feet.
okay.
All right, guys?
Okay, give him an ankle bone here, an ankle bone here.
I think it takes you longer to
He
sign
needs
your
boots.
name
Heck
than draw
yeah.
a picture.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. I'm gonna step out, okay?
Incidentally, you guys have ruined us. We've decided to give up comics and we're going into showbiz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just so
that is
brutal.
so brutal.
And this was from a 90s VHS, I believe, called The Comic Book Greats.
Yeah. Simon? Simon something?
Alvin, Simon, Theodore.
He's so catty.
Oh, Stan Lee is so catty in that whole thing. It's
I feel like
beautiful.
they're like, oh yeah, you like poke at them jokingly, and he's like, oh.
I really wonder if he got any guidance to do that, or if Stan was just like, well, I'm gonna tell them what I think because
Like, you
I'm
know what?
Stan the
Fuck
Man
'em.
Lee. I'm Stan the Man Lee
Fuck
here.
them kids.
Oh, who do they look like? Simon
Ooh.
Cowell.
Oh, Simon Cowell.
Is that that's who they were thinking of?
A
is
British
Simon.
man with brown hair? My God, who doesn't he look like? Every British man with brown hair. I don't understand.
You think this guy looks like David Tennant?
Kinda, yeah.
Really?
I mean, a little bit.
I'm so mystified by that.
He doesn't. I can't pull any names for him. He's too generic.
I know who he looks like.
Oh,
I got one.
Yeah. Tennant is Scottish.
Oh, you're right.
Human Shrek. He
Well,
does
wait,
look like a
wait,
human
no, but you
Shrek.
said, but Charlene here said British, and Scotland's part of Britain. He looks
Yeah.
like Mark Cuban.
I see it.
Not like a ton. They just have like a similar jawline.
You don't see him smile that often.
Well, no, he's the mean judge.
Yeah, that's why the picture, it looks more like
Do you mean
Shrekky.
ogre Shrek or human Shrek?
Both.
Because, I mean, he looks like human Shrek.
Yeah. He does look like human Shrek.
Well, and I mean, I guess to really compare apples to apples, we have to compare not the photo of Simon Cowell, but Simon Cowell from Scoob. Remember Scoob?
I forgot that Simon Cowell was in Scoob. To be fair, I feel like I've blocked out most of my memories.
You
from
don't remember where
Scoob.
Scooby and Shaggy go to hell to try to save Muttley? Because that happens in that movie.
Jellystone never. Vlog. Never. We watched an episode because Brack was in it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Brack is silently in a recorded video played on it.
Aggressively mad.
And Zorak also
Aggressively
barely
mad.
in it.
Perhaps he looks like Paul Hollywood.
Oh.
Doesn't Paul Hollywood have white hair?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he does.
where they're just interchangeable. Probably vibes-wise. You know, mean British guys you can just.
But is Paul Hollywood's reality show persona mean guy?
Isn't it?
Is he mean? I feel like he's more like stern
Like
or like high
tears.
standards because it gives you those handshakes.
But that's the same with Cowell.
Does Cowell ever say positive things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll say it when someone's like really fucking good. Like,
I think that was 2020 or 2021 in your dimension when we watched Scoob.
something like that.
Probably
something.
2021. Because HBO Max was A, still around, and B, relatively new. So that would be 2020. It launched in 2020, so it was probably 2020 when we watched Scoob together.
Yeah, actually. My God.
Jinkies.
Jinkies.
Well, why don't we now go to question number 7? Which of these is not a real Marvel character? Gorgola the Living Gargoyle, Liesel Pon, Ruby Thursday, or the Elf with a Gun?
Elf with
3
a
of these
gun.
are real Marvel characters. One of them is not. Do you know the answer to this one, intern? Character encyclopedia.
Yes, but if I did not know, I would never be able to guess.
Nope. This is one of those reasons, Wiz, why it feels like first place not out of your reach.
You never know with Grand Trivia! One of them is very nearly a Doctor Who
Very true.
character.
Very
yeah,
true.
It's the elf. It's just the elf without a gun.
Yeah, the elf with a screwdriver. Okay, so 2 of you said Gorgola the Living Gargoyle. 4 of you said Liesel Pon. 3 of you said Ruby Thursday. None of you thought the elf with the gun. Well, you're all mostly wrong. 4 of you got it right. The correct answer is Liesel Pon.
Liesel Pon.
And now Liesel Pon is a real character, but they're a real DC character.
Ha!
They're a super intelligent he's a super intelligent smallpox virus who joins the Green Lantern Corps because he wants justice. Again, he's a smallpox virus who craves justice and joins the Green Lantern Corps.
That's stupid.
No, that's real though, I think. Yeah. Despotellus, the sentient biovirus of the Sinestro Corps, is his archenemy. See?
Wow.
And it's considered the deadliest member of the Sinestro Corps.
I mean, typically, yeah. Best possible smallpox, I guess.
That's true. Gargola the Living Gargoyle is a member of an alien species known as the Stonians. However, they slumbered for thousands of years. And he awoke. They all awoke. And he sought to conquer humanity, but the other Stonians betrayed him because they had learned peace by watching humanity.
I could sleep for 1,000 years.
And Gorgola later appeared on Monster Island when Shadowcat and Magic appeared to look for a mutant girl named Bo. And he's a silicon-based life form. And he's also the son of Granitor.
Granitor.
Gorgola the Living Gargoyle is a Stonian who's the son of Granitor.
Granitor.
And he's one of the few Stonians whose names don't end with or. And then Ruby Thursday, or Thursday Rubenstein.
Oh, I like her weird head.
That's her power. She's a scientist and criminal whose head has been replaced by a red orb made of quote-unquote organic circuitry.
Oh. So does she ever get to take off the orb?
No, that the orb is her head.
Oh.
See, she replaced her
Oh.
head with the orb. So she's cursed to forever ponder the orb.
I like how she's an orb with titties.
Yeah.
Is basically what they
She's
created.
a sexy orb.
She orb now. Yeah, it looks like a starfish villain. Yeah, does she eat? At least she has abs, right?
She has, I mean, it's easy to get abs when your head's an orb.
Orb.
And here's her she has a
Orb.
6 intelligence on the power grid. But
Out
not
of
much
10?
else. So yeah, 6 out of 10. And her head can mimic all the
Orbin
proper functions of a
time.
human head, like thinking,
Oh.
seeing, hearing, speaking, and presumably breathing and eating.
Presumably.
And she can shapeshift.
Orb is horse.
Orb is horse.
AGDQ. What is this? I don't see kisses on that
America's
list.
giving disqualification.
Yep. Yep.
No, it's games done quick.
Oh. Cool.
Awesome games done quick.
Cool. Speedrunning event.
Speedrunning event for charity, yeah.
Hmm.
And then the elf with a gun is Melf the elf with a gun,
America's Got Dairy Queen.
who uses a variety of disguises to murder seemingly random people for no apparent reason.
With a gun.
With a gun. And in
House
fact,
of the
he has
Dragon.
inspired
Yeah.
the elves with guns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's what his name says
Yep.
on the tin. Just, yeah, he delivers what he promises.
I like how Stan Lee had the gall to put people down for shoulder pads when he's out here with the elf with the gun.
I'm willing to bet that's not Stan.
Ooh, 2 more people
Yeah.
beaten.
No.
Tetris.
That was Steve Gerber. That was created by the person who created Howard the Duck.
I see.
That was not a Stan creation, and I'm sure Stan didn't love that. You know the story. So, have you all heard the apocrypha about how about the fact that, well, not apocrypha, but that Iron Man had a nose for a while because Stan asked, "Where's his nose?" And it was
This one was
actually
invented by a
because he
writer.
meant there's no room for his nose, but they misheard it, so they drew a nose on Iron Man's helmet for a while.
That's always how it goes.
Let's see if there's a nose on our leaderboard, where Expala Celsiorella is in first, the Wizard Marvel Comics in second, Batmite in third, Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in fourth, Deadfool in fifth, Spider-Man by the Ramones in sixth, Missy Stereo in seventh, Bootleg Barton Clint in eighth, Fantastic Floor in ninth, Kapow Tatoes in 10th. CBC still doesn't know Marvel, living up to the name in 11th place. With Excelsior bringing up the rear in 12th as we go to question number 8. And this time, let's turn our gaze to theme parks.
Ooh.
Which of these was not a chicken dish on the menu of the Universal City Walk restaurant Marvel Mania?
I like,
Is it Aunt May's chicken noodle soup, Champion chicken fingers, Deadpool's chicken chimichangas, or mutant chicken wings?
I like how every single time we do Marvel trivia, there's a new question about the City Walk menu.
Yeah, exclusively from... Exactly, I knew I should have studied the menu.
Well, now I'm hungry. Suffer!
And all of these come from a single post that has scans of the menu.
No, it's a
No.
restaurant.
It's a full restaurant, full service restaurant, where superheroes wander around and take your order. And then you get food inspired by them. And there's props from the cosmic universe of Marvel Comics, including the Infinity Gauntlet on the wall. 2 of you said Aunt May's chicken vegetable soup. 4 of you said Champion chicken fingers. Only 1 of you said Deadpool's chicken chimichanga. 3 of you said mutant chicken wings. Well, I have good news for 1 of you. It's Deadpool's chicken chimichangas. The rest are all real. And as a refresher,
Fucking things nailed it!
Here's the menu for Marvel Mania Hollywood,
Come on!
which had tantalizing tamers of Titanic first, like the amazing fantasy item, which came in a take-home glass.
No, my suffering!
Astonishing
Yum,
appetizers.
yum, yum, yum.
And the spice-o-meter, depending on how flamed on the Human Torch is. Because they have taste bud torches there. They have the dastardly dip, the Shang-Chi Chinese tacos, the bombastic bruschetta, the mutant chicken wings, the sunfire spring rolls, the rainbow bridge nachos, the gambit
That's all of
sugar
you.
cane shrimp,
All
the
of you are
extreme
yakety-saxing.
vegetable, the towering lasagna, linguine team-up featuring mighty mint meat sauce, which is my favorite name on the menu, Linguini team
Sunfire
up.
spring rolls is very fucked up.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these are bad. I'm not endorsing these, to be clear. I do endorse Linguini team up featuring Mighty Meat Sauce, but I don't endorse the rest.
Do you think that these were come up with by Stan?
No.
Do you think they brought in Stan to name all their dishes?
I think the only thing Stan came up with is the Stanwiches.
Are there
No.
any chimichangas at all?
No.
Power-packed potato.
Yeah, the Latverian strawberry shortcake.
Ballistic Butterfingers bread pudding.
Blastars ballistic butterfinger bread pudding.
Blastars.
It's so weird.
Come on.
It's so weird being at an era of Marvel where they had enough money to make a Universal theme park restaurant, but would still do something themed around Fin Fang Foom.
Fing Fang. Oh, God, I don't even want to say it. I realized what I was saying before I finished that. My God.
Yeah. It was a racist dragon character.
I see.
Yeah. Marvel's history, not all spotless, and a whole lot of it doesn't hold up particularly well. Not just the working on with the military, also the racism, yeah. So Marvel, it's not all good. But you know what is all good? Our
Oh,
leaderboard.
God, it was.
Expala, now I can't say that I've been saying all game. Expala, Celsiorola in first. The Wizard, Marvel Comics in second. Spider-Man by the Ramones in third. Deadpool.
Deadpool 3.
This
3
one was
makes
invented
Deadpool
by
2
a
look like
writer.
Deadpool 1. Batmite. Deadfool. Missy Stereo. Bootleg Barton Clint. Fantastic Floor. Kapowtatoes. CBC still doesn't know Marvel. And Incelsia. Rounding out our leaderboard as we go to our penultimate.
Excelsior!
Our penultimate question. Thank you, other me. For question 9. True or false, Don Juan Quixote is a real Star Wars character from the Marvel Comics. Is that true or is that false? Oh, there's a lot of uniformity right now in the answers, so maybe you'll all be feeling like silly people, or maybe you'll all get a lot of points.
I think you're all going to be pretty fucking tricked. Pretty fucking tricked. Always
Yes.
pick true, but should
Always
you?
pick true, says Blogtoven.
But should you?
Well, I mean, they'll find out if they should have in 10 seconds as we yakety those sacks again, thanks to Blogtoven. Plausible deniability did the most recent one before that.
I wonder if they mean old Ben Quixote.
Who knows? Who can say who they mean? But your answers are in. All of you but one said true, and it is true.
Ha to one of you!
Don Juan Quixote
Ha!
was a librarian and big fan of the Jedi Order. He was a Jedi wannabe, you might say. Born Hescorin, he snapped when the Empire shut down the library.
I had to know.
He snapped when the Empire shut down the library he worked at and took up his new name and his lightsaber.
Plausible.
Thus it is my sacred duty to travel the galaxy, championing the causes of peace and justice. I pray you, let me join you, young sir, in whatever holy mission you undertake, that I may continue to be worthy of the name Jedi Knight.
Can we talk about George Banks again?
You want to talk about George Sackle? Do you know George Sackle?
Mm-mm.
This is George Sackle.
Oh my.
He's a native of Tatooine who suffered a near-fatal crash in a T-16 Skyhopper
Wow.
while on his homeworld, which changed the course of his life.
Who does he look like?
Oh. I know who he looks like. Oh, he looks like me, Fluval, Grand Triviamaster of the Grand Aquarium Empire.
Yep, I see it. It's like looking in a mirror.
No, it's not a George self-insert. It's someone else inserting George in it.
Wonder if he means old Don Kenobi.
He was named.
Gene Roddenberry.
He was named by Steve Sansweet, who owns Rancho Obi-Wan, the world's largest Star Wars collection, and used to be a fan liaison for Lucasfilm. And he was created for Celebration 2 in Indianapolis as a Tuckerization.
A Tuckerization?
Yeah, which is a Star Wars thing they do a lot. where they base the name of a fictional character on a real name.
Oh, so it's like
Coleman Trebor, who was based on Robert Coleman.
is it
Or
wait,
Zet Jukasa, based on Jet Lucas.
who came up with the word Tuckerization?
Tucker.
Tuckerization, a man and his dreamerization.
Moyne.
Right?
Moyne. Moyne.
It's Moyne.
Moyne is a species named after Bobby Moynihan.
Like Zed Zasso.
No, Tuckerization isn't just Star Wars, to be clear. It's named by Wilson Tucker, a pioneering American science fiction writer who used his friends' names as minor characters in his books.
I see. Yeah, because I'm like, I know Flanderization is because of Flanders in The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah. This is a fun one. This guy, Admiral Nicked, was named after Admiral Nick, a poster on the Force.net, who posted about Star Wars fleet stats a lot. And so they just named it after his screen name.
I love that.
There's multiple characters named after Force.net posters. Like Jelleric is named after Eric Geller, who posted there, who's now a cybersecurity reporter. Admiral
Clauson.
Oh no, that one was cut. There was one cut named after the guy Admiral Jello, but there was Sabla Mandibu named after the Force.net's Mandibulat. Oh, great question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't he from John Stew?
Stew John.
Stew John.
Yeah, he's from Stew John,
Which is a Tuckerization.
which is named after a Tuckerization of Jon Stewart.
John Stewart.
So there's George Cardass.
Isn't that George Carlin? Oh no, that's George
That's
Lucas.
also George Lucas.
As soon as I saw him. Ah!
There's Egorge, which is Egoreg, which is named after George Lucas, who's the leader of Tatooine's Super Vaporator project.
I like how he just has his legs open and it looks like he is this weird cartoon pussy.
Who?
Lucas in that picture.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's not 5. There's only 4. And then there's
George R. Banks.
Eorg Sakul was the Star Tours travel
A
agency
Cartusi.
passenger who wanted to see a Star Tours agent at gate number 3. And then there's the one we looked at. But also there's one named after the person who runs the Veers Watch Twitter account,
Oh.
which is just an account that says whether General Veers appears in a Star Wars work. And this AT-AT pilot who is driving Veers' AT-AT is now named after him.
Wow. Because he's looking out for Veers.
Yes, he's looking out for Veers. He was so excited when Veers did appear in something finally, because it's mostly no Veers. Nothing takes place.
Fuck is Veers?
Who's General Veers?
Yes.
He's the general who led the attack on Hoth.
Oh.
And he's
okay.
played by George Lucas talk show guest and Doctor Who alumni Julian Glover.
Oh no, my stream cut out. Ooh, yum yum yum. Oh.
Everyone's did.
Oh.
It's a Twitch
Can
problem.
no one see us right now?
It's a Twitch problem then. Yeah, Twitch went to hell. But we are still here, and so we're going to look at General Veers. Oh, it's offline. This has happened before. Oh, we're back.
Oh, okay.
That was weird.
This was all to make you suffer. Yum 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 yum.
Well, now you can suffer by learning about General Veers. This guy. Who does he look like?
He looks like Bob. He looks like the Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal?
Yes. Doesn't that guy look exactly like Pedro Pascal? Do we rejoin?
No. Trivia didn't lose the connection. It's just Twitch messing up because our stream is so overloading it that their puny human servers couldn't handle our.
No, they didn't want you to see General Fierce.
Yeah. I mean, it remains unstable to
Yes,
this day.
right.
Yeah, no, I
Looks
see it.
exactly like Pedro.
It could be the Twitch
Probably
staff
both.
layoffs. They did lay off 30% of the company today. Or 35%. Or no, they announced it today, but haven't done it yet.
Fuck.
No, it's not rain. It shouldn't be rain. It could be rain. Yeah, they fired 35% of the people who keep the servers going.
Oh,
Well, why
won't
don't
need
we?
them.
Yeah, no, you don't need them. Who needs stability? Who needs a staffed platform? You know what I do think we need now that we're back?
What?
A little something.
Twitter
called
seems fine.
The leaderboard, where Expala Celsiorala is in first, The Wizard in second. The Wizard Marvel Comics, I mean, of course. Spider-Man by the Ramones in third. Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1 in fourth. Batmite in fifth. Deadfool, no, in sixth. Missy Stereo, we'll be on YouTube before we go to kick. Missy Stereo in seventh. Bootleg Barton in Clint. Kapow Tatoes in eighth. Or ninth. Fantastic Floor in 10th. CBC doesn't still know Marvel in 11th. Incelsior in 12th. Yeah, I mean, like, the spokespeople for Kick are all scumbags, so no, we're not going to Kick. It won't die. Yeah, we're not going to Rumble either. Don't you worry. We're not going to be in the Mug Club while we go to our final question.
California.
But wager your points before we get there. I assume Things from the Void will be all in, given that I, like humans, have an ability to recognize patterns.
That is true. You are really good at that, Fluval.
I am especially good at that.
Yes. Sometimes we'll, like, just toss a bunch of puzzle pieces in the air, and Fluval can put it together.
Uh-oh,
before
I
it's
meant
all
to
done.
go all in, says Wizard Live. All in, baby! You know it. You can always not answer. I wish you could edit your wager. California the Wizard. Heart. And, of course, one is nearly a restaurant.
One is nearly a restaurant.
Yeah, me too. I meant to go all in also, but here we go. On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Accelatron, riders become agents who help the X-Men Professor X and Storm protect the world from which of these villains? Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Mint the Merciless? On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Accelatron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Mint the Merciless? On Island of Adventures Stormforce Accelatron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Mint the Merciless?
What about Hershey Park?
Well, on Hershey
Park's
Park's Reese's Cup Fusion, riders become agents who help the Hershey's security commander, or security chief, Commander Cup, protect the which of these villains? How many a great question. Most of them. I mean, Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters certainly does. You get given guns. But I mean, actually, Rise of the Resistance literally is you becoming agents of the Resistance. So, that's pretty neat. But three of you said Apocalypse, one of you said Juggernaut, three said Magneto, one of you said Mint the Merciless. The correct answer is, in fact, the Master of Magnetism. On Islands of Adventures, Stormforce Accelatron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm protect the world from which of these villains? It was not Mint the Merciless. I'm sorry, Wiz, that you had to suffer in this way because you could have suffered so much more. It is Magneto, and here's what the ride looks like. And it's a teacup ride where riders help Storm by generating power for her to use by spinning the wheel in the center of their teacup. But yeah, the Buzz Lightyear ride is based on the actual Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, the one that
Not the toy.
Andy had the toy of.
On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Accelatron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? It's perfectly readable.
Perfectly.
Oh!
Yep.
And it looks like we've just received something very special. So it's time for... this tribute. Oh, but here we go. On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Acceleratron, riders become agents who help the X-Men Professor X and Storm protect the world from which of these villains? Apocalypse, Juggernaut, Magneto, or Mint the Merciless. On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Acceleratron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Acceleratron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? On Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Cat House Catch, riders become agents who help the Madam protect the whole house from which of these villains? On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Acceleratron, riders become agents who help the X-Men, Professor X and Storm, protect the world from which of these villains? Helicard Streams, hello.
Welcome. Thank you for becoming better than other lonely third-dimensional beings.
You're coming in at the end of our game of trivia. Oh, here we go. On Islands of Adventure's Stormforce Acceleratron, riders become agents.
Precisely.
Oh, then it would be on Hershey Park, Reese's Cup Fusion, riders become agents who help Reese's security chief command a cup. Protect the park from which of those villains? But now, that was our final question, so let's see who the winner of our Game of Marvel trivia is. In third place. Well, now it's your winner's up. It was Magneto. I mean, it does make the most sense. But here we go. Question number third. In third place, Deadpool 3 makes Deadpool 2 look like Deadpool 1. In second place, Deadpool. And in first place, none other than Batmite.
Batmite won?
Batmite won.
After not being in the top 3?
Yes, after
for
that, again.
Like most of the game?
Those that final question always causes quite a bit of chaos in our games of trivia. Oh, so many of you ended up with negative points. If you were the Batmite, let us know on Discord, here on Twitch, or anywhere else. And then we'll send you a prize that's just for you. But there's one thing we all get to enjoy, and of course it's... That's right, we just destroyed Comic Book Earth. And so be sure to join us again next week for another exciting episode of Grand Trivia, where next week, in honor of the impending start of SF Sketchfest, we have questions all about comedy, including one about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Villainous!
So you won't... Excelsior! You won't want to miss next week's trivia. And we'll see you then, because we have your coordinates.
Here he comes, swimming closer than farther away.